The popularity of electric cars is growing, and so too is the choice of what you can buy. Even just a few years ago, electric cars were pretty rare and very expensive, but now there's a huge choice across many budgets and classes. But what's the best you can buy right now? We're going to run through the top 10, and we're also going to pick out the ones that are best avoided. Before we get stuck in, if you're looking to buy a new car, check out whatcar.com to save thousands of pounds, and subscribe to our channel to catch our reviews of the latest new EVs. Kicking off the top 10 is the Kia Soul EV. The previous version was a boxy effort with a fairly limited claimed electric range around 130 miles, which would actually be well under 100 miles in real-world driving conditions. But the latest Soul EV is very different. It still has the quirky styling from before, but now with around 150 miles added to its official electric range. It's very closely related to the impressive Kia e-Niro, but it isn't as good to drive and doesn't ride as well either. Jaguar beat Audi, BMW and Mercedes in bringing a premium electric SUV to market back in 2018. And it's impressive that even 3 years into its life in this fast-moving market, the I-Pace still stacks up very well against its current crop of electric rivals. The car has many strengths, not least the incredible electric range, which is better than all of its closest rivals. Plus, it offers Jaguar's best interior and a rapid 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 4.5 seconds. It isn't cheap, but it is competitive, priced in line with rivals like the Audi e-tron and Mercedes EQC. And the I-Pace actually offers a better overall electric car package than those rivals. The Renault Zoe has featured much higher on these top 10 lists in the past few years, but that says more about the quality of the new competition we're going to talk about rather than the car itself getting worse. It's one of the cheapest EVs to buy, but this small hatchback demonstrates its value in other ways too. It's a great all-rounder in terms of practicality and range, and you could conceivably use it as your only car, not just a limited use second car. There's two different versions available, the R110 or the more powerful R135. But really, the R110 is punchy enough and it's cheaper, so we'd stick with that. Iconic is our favourite trim, but you'll want to add automatic emergency braking as an optional extra. There are plenty of other excellent small car choices in the EV market, like the Peugeot e-208. It offers a really classy interior, smooth ride and sharp steering. It's a close run thing between this and the Zoe, but the e-208 is nicer inside and better to drive. The Kia e-Niro was our car of the year in 2019. It was the first electric car that offered a huge range without a huge price tag. A few years into its life, it remains a fantastic choice as an EV. To go with that massive range, you also get a nice interior, plenty of space and decent performance. There is a cheaper version available now with a smaller battery, but while you may be tempted by the lower price, the claimed electric range is around 100 miles less than our favourite version. We'd stick with the 64 kWh battery pack because it's still outstanding value compared to its competitors. BMW's first step into the electric car world was the i3. It had oddball looks, a lightweight carbon fibre construction and fancy rear-hinged back doors, but EVs didn't catch on as quickly as many had anticipated, and it turned out that many buyers didn't necessarily want an electric car that looked different from a regular car. So for its next EV, BMW took a different approach, essentially moulding the iX3 from the X3 SUV. But the result is no half-hearted EV cop-out. It's a properly fantastic electric car that's practical, good to drive and has a longer range than all but the I-Pace among its closest rivals. And while the I-Pace can travel a little further and is quicker, the iX3 is better built inside, cheaper and even better to drive. The Fiat 500 is one of the most iconic and distinctive cars on the road, but in recent years the fuel-powered version was beginning to seriously lag behind its rivals in every area. The reborn 500 Electric changes all of that. While the styling may look similar from before, everything else about the car is dramatically different, and it's transformed the 500 into a fantastic EV, whether you go for the hardtop or this convertible version. There are other fashion-focused small EVs around like the Honda E and the Mini Electric, but those cars have one major drawback, the range. The 500 has no such problems. Pick our favourite version with the 42 kWh battery and it is officially said to cover close to 200 miles, more than enough for a car that will no doubt spend much of its time in the city. Plus, not only will it travel further on a full charge than many of its rivals, but it's incredibly well priced compared to them as well. You can watch our review of the car by clicking on the link at the top of your screen. Fast electric cars are nothing new, but EVs that genuinely stir the soul from behind the wheel didn't exist before the Porsche Taycan. The Taycan is proof that electric cars can be just as rewarding and usable as the best petrol performance car rivals, and then some. Yes, some versions of the Tesla Model S can accelerate even more forcefully, but they're no match dynamically for the Taycan. And it isn't just about the pace either. The Taycan has a beautiful interior, a smooth ride, and a decent official range. We reckon the 4S is the sweet spot of the lineup, but if you really do need more power, there's the Turbo and Turbo S. Plus, there's also a new entry-level rear-wheel drive Taycan. Second place in our list is the VW ID.3. Is this the new Golf of the electric car world? Well, VW will hope it proves to be just as popular. This is one of the most well-rounded electric cars that you can currently buy. Comfortable, fun to drive, quick, practical, it ticks many of the same boxes as the Golf. If there is one weakness, it's the car's fiddly touchscreen infotainment system. But in all other respects, this is quite clearly a fantastic EV that would make a great family car. It's also got a very competitive price tag and, in our favourite version, an official claimed electric range which is among the best in the class. But the very best electric car you can buy right now is the Tesla Model 3. It was our winner last year, and after receiving some updates, it has strengthened its grip at the very top, even with competition really hotting up. And you can watch our review of the new Model 3 by clicking on the link at the top of your screen. The long-range version is the Model 3 at its best, offering, as you might imagine, a very long range and still properly quick performance. Quite simply, there is no other electric car that balances range, performance, price and technology as well as the Model 3 does. Plus, of course, as with any Tesla, you have the huge added bonus of getting access to its incredible supercharger network, which lets you charge quickly and easily away from home. So those are the top 10 electric cars to buy right now, but there are a few other EVs launching soon that could shake up the standings. And before you dive into the comments to remind us, one of them is indeed the Tesla Model S. It's just had a fairly substantial facelift along with the Tesla Model X, with a claimed improvement to range, performance and their interiors. They're not available on UK roads just yet, so it's not included in this list, but it certainly looks like they have potential to challenge near the top. Similarly, the Tesla Model Y has been around on the internet for a while, but we're still yet to see it on the road over here. With a massive range and much sought after SUV body, it could prove to be a big hit. And away from Tesla, you've also got other potential mainstream success in the shape of the Skoda Enyaq and the VW ID.4. They're two closely related electric SUVs which promise big ranges and competitive prices. So while there are lots of great cars on the market now and many exciting ones to come, there aren't many at all that are worth avoiding entirely. Apart from the Smart 4.2 EQ and the 4.4 EQ, that is. They've been around for a while now and are well off the pace compared to the current crop of EVs. They might look cheap compared to rivals, but they really don't represent good value because they are tiny inside and have absolutely minuscule electric ranges. Speaking of which, while we wouldn't stretch to saying these new EVs should be avoided, the Honda E, Mini Electric and Mazda MX-30 should be approached with caution. They each actually have real strengths in different areas, but the one major flaw that unites them is the limited electric range. So while you might be drawn in by the cool styling inside and out, just make sure your lifestyle suits what they offer. So there you have it. Do you agree with our list? Would you pick a different winner? Let us know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and to make sure you see all of our reviews of every new car, subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, if you want to buy a new car, go to whatcar.com. We can save you thousands of pounds off your next new car through our trusted dealer network with no need for any haggling. Click on the link in our description or just search for What Car Deals. Thanks for watching.